Well, folks, it's a wrap. Let's take a moment and reflect on the Star Wars we got in 2019.
Yes, hell yes. Mr. Red Gaze, I'm a big fan. I've been watching all your videos. It's an honor to share tonight with the Gaze community.
Well, folks, we are about to close out 2019, and I finally got a chance to get a glimpse of The Rise of Skywalker and finish out the Mandalorian series in a way that does not support our abusers at Disney and Lucasfilm. This is the way. Now, what did I think, you might ask? Well, I have mixed feelings about all of this. As far as The Rise of Skywalker goes, we're going to cover that first. Was it a fitting end to the Skywalker saga? No. No, not in my opinion. Was it a terrible movie? No, it was not a terrible movie. I think it is what we all thought it was going to be. You know, after The Last Jedi, what course did JJ have than to try to backpedal on some of this stuff and kind of finish out the storyline or the outline that he wrote to begin with? And I think that's kind of what he did here. There was some retconning. There was some jabs at Rian Johnson, which I enjoyed. Such as a Jedi weapon is to be respected. Coming from Luke, no less. It wasn't a bad flick. But naturally, I had problems with it. First and foremost, at the opening crawl, we start out as though pretty much nothing has come before this, other than some elements of The Force Awakens. It does seem like a direct sequel to The Force Awakens, as though The Last Jedi kind of never happened, but still did. The Last Jedi is gross, and I wish it had never happened, but it should be acknowledged that it did. We've got our side characters here, which do get a little bit more attention. Like Finn, Poe, Chewie. The Zori Bliss character, and a couple other new characters. Rose Tico got pretty much nothing. But they don't really matter, as the primary focus of the story, as I guess it should be, was Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, their story it's convoluted and weird. And I think, again, that's primarily due to The Last Jedi and just the monkey wrench that threw into this entire production. I would say Palpatine's return was fairly cheesy, but I guess kind of necessary, as Rian Johnson decided Snoke needed to go abruptly. I guess he thought that Kylo Ren was going to be a big enough villain to carry the rest of the trilogy, but not really. Not really. Kylo has become something greater than he was in this movie, but, not really a villain, right? It was yet another redemption arc that really, for this one, I would say came too little too late. I think that Kylo Ren should have been more of a key player for the forces of good much sooner than he was. And now, again, that's probably due to the, just the convoluted mess, the lack of communication. I still have trouble wrapping my brain around how you would get your hands on a property like Star Wars and not have an outline for it, not hammer that stuff down. But, they did, and this is what we got. It's not the trash fire that I thought it would be, even with the Leia scenes. But it's not really a satisfying conclusion to me. Maybe for this trilogy, but linking it in with the other two, no, not really. Just too much retconning, too much on the fly crap that kind of needed to be done to fix a mess. So I'd say, it's maybe a 6. 6 out of 10 we'll give this on the red meter. And then we'll get into The Mandalorian. What do you say? Now, this is an entirely different animal. Completely different Star Wars. Classic style. Respect for what came before. and respect for the era that it's set in. You can tell there was love and care put into The Mandalorian. Now, it wasn't perfect. It was not perfect. We got a couple episodes that were pretty much completely filler. There were quite a bit of plot conveniences going around. Some of the nostalgia was a little much, like in this latest episode, the stormtroopers shooting at the can and not hitting it like ever. Ever. That was a little much. I appreciate the paying homage to, the joke, but little much, I would say. Baby Yoda, I do not hate. However, give this child a name. I am I'm about tired of hearing it called Baby Yoda. Even the child is kind of annoying. This creature needs a name. But however, do not name the species. Let's keep that a mystery. That would be my personal preference. But, yeah, on a whole, this series was everything it really should be. It's you're going to have some crap, even in the best material. I mean, take a look at the EU. There's plenty of crap in there amongst all the gems. But, nothing's going to be perfect. But with The Mandalorian, what we get is an attempt to truly satisfy the fans of old, as well as entertain the new generation. At least that's what I took from it. You have some really interesting characters. Like Mando himself is interesting enough, but then you get these side characters who you just did not expect. You get the Mandalorian clan. They're really awesome. You have the priestess, who is just the phenomenal character. I like the way that she carries herself and the way that she behaves throughout this, and you even get to see her kick a little ass. You have the little Ugnaught guy. I don't recall his name off the top of my head, but his lines have become iconic within a day of his first appearance. People were saying, I have spoken, just like the Mandalorians. This is the way. Those lines have now become iconic in the blink of an eye, and that is what satisfying Star Wars does for you. You have Cara Dune, who's came along as an awesome character. I didn't really care for her at first, but she grew in the role, and I appreciate it. You have the droid IG-11, who just was total badass. Everyone always wanted to see IG-88 in action, and you basically get this with this character. And that's something else I've kind of noticed with this series. You have a lot of I don't know if I call them copycat characters, but they're very close to characters that already exist. And I think I think that's another type of fan service. Good fan service, where they're just saying, we know what you want, we know the characters you love, but we're not allowed to use them. So, so here you go. We have the Moff in this series that was introduced in Episode 7, who is obviously going to be a great villain for Season 2. That's an awesome setup they did with him. Really looking forward to seeing what comes next. They've linked him with the Mandalorian culture, namely Death Watch. Obviously, I don't know if anyone else picked up on this. It was obviously Death Watch who saved Mando as a child, just judging by the blue armor. Baby Yoda, the child, kind of anxious to see where his plot line goes. Be kind of cool to see his species and where they dwell. But power him down a little bit would just be my suggestion. And I think it was really cool to watch Mando's adventures, watch his progression as he, as a role player, a tabletop role player. It was really cool for me to watch him progress, and upgrade his equipment, upgrade his gear, and just use every piece of gear he has, to the best of his ability. He made bitchin' use of all of his weaponry. He uses his armor to full effect, and then he's finally rewarded, spoiler alert, with a jetpack at the end. So he's kind of, at the end of the series, becomes a complete Mandalorian. And it's just really cool to think where this might go from here. Now, the lesson for Disney to take away from this is The Mandalorian did not subvert expectations, it surpassed them. I don't think a lot of people went into this expecting this to be anything but more Disney trash, but it's not. It's an awesome series. It's You know, it's submersive. It brings you into the universe and makes you want to be a part of it, and really makes you care about these characters, even the side characters. I got to tell you, I care more about Cara Dune than I cared about Finn or Poe, and that's pathetic. That's pathetic. But yeah, in summation, Mandalorian, spot on, excellent work. This one has topped off the red meter, I would say, even with the filler episodes and the plot conveniences and certain items that I didn't care for. I would give The Mandalorian a 9.5 out of 10. It was just that good, that satisfying. This is MF in Star Wars. So to wrap things up for 2019 Star Wars, a year in review, if you will, I would say we've got some okay Star Wars, and we got some excellent Star Wars, which totally beats out 2017 or 2018, where we got shit, and lots of it. Just garbage. Trash. I think it's clear that they, they're trying to course correct a bit, and they're trying to bring the fans back that they've lost, so let's hope they do. So I would like to say, as a reward to them for demonstrating that they've gotten the message at least a little bit, and are trying to make some quality material, I will be subscribing to Disney Plus, because that's how this works. That's how this works, right? You respect your fans, you put out good material, and you're rewarded. Capitalism, risk and reward, right? They took a risk with this, and they'll be rewarded because they put out a quality product. And I'm looking forward to season 2 of The Mandalorian more than I'm looking forward to any other Star Wars out there. I really hope they do as good a job with the Obi-Wan series that's upcoming. And I'm going to give my money to Lucasfilm on this one, because that's the way it works. This is the way. Damn it, I have spoken. So, start putting out some quality movies, and maybe I'll start going to the theater again too. How about that, Disney? I hope everybody enjoyed this video, this little wrap-up of Star Wars in 2019. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Come on and join the gays community. We're going to be keeping tabs on more Star Wars, pop culture in general, MCU, and definitely comics and Comicsgate. So stay tuned. Let's all have a great 2020, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.